10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Evening Bournemouth fans, and welcome to Cherry's Red Army YouTube channel. I'm Kirk and we're here for another match preview. What a 7 days. We beat Birmingham at home last Saturday, then we went away to Burnley and won in the FA Cup, then we drew Southampton in the quarterfinals. You've also helped the channel subscribe by an extra 50, which we much appreciated, but we have to keep going. Also follow our Twitter channel as well at Cherry's Red Army to grow that as well. So tomorrow we take on Nottingham Forest in the Championship at 12:30, and we're going to preview that with two guests. Before we do that, make sure you also like and hit the bell icon for more content. And if we do get more subscriptions during the show, I might let you know about a peak video coming out next week. So let's get my first guest on, an AFC Bournemouth fan, Alex Hall. How are you?
I'm good, Kirk. How are you?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And as we always do, let's recap our previous game, which was Tuesday night against Burnley, a 2-0 win, and an actual performance that we played well for 90 minutes.
And a performance that Philip Brilling played well for 90 minutes as well, wasn't it? Yeah. It was just great, wasn't it? It was a man for man. He brought a few people in. You think FA Cup sometimes you bring other players in and it can become disjointed, but every player that came in, I mean, Rico came back and was, he played a few blinding balls down the left. Surridge, we know Surridge has been pretty consistent for a while, actually. And like I said, Phil Billing, wow. Who was that 6'6" midfielder? I've never seen him in a Bournemouth shirt before, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that assist from the back. And Sam Surridge as well, running that line was something different. Yeah,
I mean, I was saying to you just before we came on, I was looking at Surridge's movement, and he's just so good on the last shoulder of the defender, puts fear down their spines, and he was brilliant for the goal. It looked like an easy goal, but his movement was just fantastic, and slotted one home early on, didn't he?
Drew Southampton at home then in the quarterfinals. We definitely owe them one for last season. VAR was involved that day. How are you feeling about that tie?
Absolutely gutted because we can't be there. I was listening to what Tom was saying, like it's a dream FA Cup thing, once in a lifetime for us, really. I mean, maybe not now because we're not the team that we were, but gutted can't be there, but it's a dream draw, isn't it? And hopefully we can get to Wembley, maybe. Yeah,
maybe. And I'd love to think that we could go if we got there, but I don't think it's going to happen. Right, so let's crack on with this match preview of Nottingham Forest. And throughout the show, please comment in the chat and I'll show as many comments as I can on the screen. The last time we played Nottingham Forest, the first fixture between the teams in the league, finished 2-0. Forest weren't very good in the first half. We sort of capitalised on that, 2 goals from Junior Stanislas. Forest probably put in a last sort of a bit of effort in the second half, but the game was probably wrapped up by then. I mean, what's your recollection of that game?
It was it wasn't a comfortable 2-0, but it wasn't an uncomfortable 2-0. I think we sort of scored an early goal, and I think we scored in the first 3 or 4 minutes, didn't we? Stanislas, and I just think we sort of got a bit too comfortable. And I think the last 20 minutes there was a bit of an assault on our goal, and there was a few sitters missed by them. But they were low on confidence then, I think, and a lot's changed since then. So can't read too much into that first game compared to what's going to happen tomorrow, I don't think.
No manager confirmed in post permanently yet, so Jonathan Woodgate is still in charge. He took another press conference, another good press conference where he came across well. He sort of reiterated again that he's just doing the job he's being asked to do until he's told otherwise.
Well, he's won 2 games now. He's got to be manager, isn't he?
It's a bounce, though, isn't it? The players have definitely felt that bounce with a new mat, with maybe some new training drills as well. But he's definitely saying the right things and doing the right things at the moment. He was asked in his press conference about player availability, and he did say that Dom Solanke's out for a few weeks, and also that Jack Stacey will be out as well. Any concerns there with those types of injuries?
With Dom, yes, because I don't think we have an out-and-out replacement for Dom. When he's our leading goal scorer. So yes, Smithy's been a bit hot and cold, but more hot than cold lately. So not too worried about that. Jack Stacey did play well in the week. You sort of think Smithy might be coming back to form a bit, so might not be as bad as it seems. But I think we have enough strength and depth to see that it's not too much of a problem.
Another injury scare during the week was Asmir Begovic. We called Mark Travers on, back from his loan at Swindon. It looks like he's maintaining the injury or looking after it, and he's still going to start tomorrow. But was you worried when you heard that news?
Seems to happen a lot, doesn't it? I think we had another goalkeeper in the last sort of 5 years, if it comes to mind. Anyway, I sort of have a feeling that that's happened. Maybe it was Steve Cook. He was playing for an injury last year, I think, for about 5 or 6 weeks, wasn't he? It is a bit of a concern, isn't it? Because when a player's not 100% fit, it can psychologically play on the player's mind a bit. For a goalkeeper, maybe not so much, Asmir's experience. If he wasn't going to play, if he wasn't fit, he wouldn't play. So not too concerned in that respect, but it is a concern that word ongoing, and it's not great, is it? He's not a 100% fit player, so you can't be totally happy with that. Did they specify if it was his hand, his arm, his legs, or his?
Not sure, but they were happy that they could control it, and he's still fit to play, apparently. And before I bring in my next guest to talk about Nottingham Forest, Jonathan Woodgate did say that he had quite a healthy squad to pick from, and he's definitely got a bit of a selection headache in the centre midfield. We'll come to it later when we try to predict the lineup. But what's your thoughts on his comments there?
Yeah, like you said, he's saying all the right things, isn't he? And he's got a steeliness about him that maybe JT didn't have. You can't read too much into it because it is new manager bounce. We see it up and down all the time, up and down the country. Players have got a new energy, a new perspective from a new manager, and we can't read too much into it. But it's a good start, and we'll wait and see what happens on JW. But it doesn't look like he's going to get the job, I don't think, from what I hear.
Okay, so let's move over to the opposition. My next guest is a Nottingham Forest fan. You can also catch him on Dore on Tour YouTube channel. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. It looks like you've been quite busy today. You've been on the Back of the Net channel as well, doing a preview there. So, how's things going? Tell us a bit about what you do on your YouTube for Nottingham Forest.
I can't hear you.
Oh. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, okay. So I said you've been quite busy. It looks like you've been on the Back of the Net AFC Bournemouth fan channel doing an opposition preview. Tell us a bit about what you do for Nottingham Forest on YouTube.
So basically, I've been doing it for 3 years. I've been following Nottingham Forest for home and away. For my experience on what's happened on the journey, and then after the pandemic, I had to think of a different idea. Then for the last year and a half, I've been interviewing ex-Nottingham Forest players like Kevin Campbell, Brian Roy, Alan Rogers. So far, I've done 9 players so far. As well, I've been doing watch-alongs as well. I've been doing it for nearly 4 years now, but I'm really enjoying it.
Excellent. And Dore on Tour details and Twitter as well is in the description below for anyone who wants to check that out. So your last game was Wickham away, 3-0. That was, and you also beat Coventry the game before that as well. So tell us a bit about that 3-0 win and the confidence you might be on at the moment.
The 3-0 win against Wickham, it was a good win, but the whole performance, it wasn't fantastic because, like I said, we were 1-0 up and then Wickham was dominated for the last things like 30 minutes in the whole first half, and then when we got that second with Glenn Murray, it was all Forest, and then we took the game. But all around, it was just like it was a steady performance against a team that was bottom of the league. Before that, we beat Coventry 2-0, 2-1. I think it was 2-1, and yeah, that was a better performance. That was a performance than Wickham. And these last two results have been fantastic. But this game at Bournemouth is we must win, because as you know, we lost 2-0 at your place, and it's a difficult game.
I was going to say, in that first game between the teams, I didn't think you performed very well in the first half, but in the second half you came on strong, probably when the game had already been gone. Had a few chances at the end. Herriata was played in quite an offensive role, if I remember, in like a number 10, which I've never seen him play that type of role for Bournemouth. But what's your recollection of that game?
We was poor. I disagree. I thought Bournemouth, they controlled the game the whole 90 minutes. Herriata playing as number 10, never. He's not a number 10. Don't get me wrong. He's a fantastic. Like when we signed Herriata, he was a fantastic signing for us, but he's not playing in the right position. He's more of a, I won't say he's a defensive person. He's more of a, he can sit there, but he can push up a little bit forward. But he's playing as number 10. It was a wrong decision. But the whole game, it was bad. I think yes, we played all right second half, but the game was already dead after that. But we were awful.
At the start of the season, then, you had one win in the first 9 matches. Was that a hangover from missing out on the playoffs on the last day of the season?
Don't talk about that game. Don't talk about the last game of the season, please, dude. Because as we know, it was horrible, and Lamucci brought in 14 players. Was it a hangover? Yeah, it was. And like I said, one win in 9 wasn't good enough. It's just the whole season's been bad. If you class it, the whole season's been bad. Even if Christian had come in, we've just got to make sure we finish mid-table. That's what matters. We should miss mid-table, but yeah.
Chris Hughton's come in though. You've now lost 1 in 10, so performances have improved. You win as many games at home as you do away, but what's he done differently then to turn that form around?
He's brought in he hasn't made major tweaks, but he's sorted out the defence. As you know, he's brought in like Glenn Murray. He's brought players in like Anthony Knockard. He's brought in Garner from Manchester United. He was on loan at Watford. And it's little tweaks. Like he's brought in Krajinovic as well from West Brom, not from Benfica. And it's little tweaks that he's done. Is it positive? It is positive. Like as everyone knows, Chris Hughton, he's not a manager that can play tip-top football. And I'm not gonna lie, I was really impressed with him when we appointed him as manager. But I think it was one Blackburn, and then was it 4 defeats in a row that he had. And sometimes you think to yourself, was he the right manager? But manager needs time. Manager always needs time, and he needs time. Like manager don't get time, but he needs extra time. He needs another transfer window to bring his own players in. And I think it's a great choice for Forest.
So an interesting stat, you've scored 25 goals this season, I think, and 18 of them, I think so, 25 goals this season, 18 have come in the second half. So why are you better in the second half than you are the first half?
I think it's well because since when Chris Hughton was appointed as manager, like he that is a good stat. He does score, especially in the last 10 minutes. He scores. I know he scores loads of goals in the last 10 minutes, but that is a new stat for me. I never knew that. Never knew. Thank you.
No, that's okay. Talking about goals then, we hopefully want to keep a clean sheet at the back tomorrow, but potential goal scorers for you that could hurt us. Lewis Grabban, ex-AFC Bournemouth player. He scores goals for fun in the Championship previously. He scored 23 for us in one season. Another player who also played for Bournemouth, Glenn Murray, who you've recently signed and scored 2 goals at the weekend. Yeah, I mean, they're a goal threat. You know, Shooting going to be trying to utilise them, obviously, to try and get a result tomorrow.
When Lewis Grabban, I think he's fit tomorrow to play. As you know, Lewis Grabban, he always scores. Like last season, he scored 20 goals for us. The first player to score 20 goals since 2003-2004.
He didn't score for us much on his second spell, though, did he, Kirk?
No, he didn't. And I was going to say, Alex, I mean, what's your thoughts on Glenn Murray? He sort of in and out the team under Eddie Howe, but scored some big goals at times. But Lewis Grabban was definitely lethal for us in that first Championship season.
Yeah, without doubt. I mean, Glenn Murray did well for us. He didn't really probably got a bit like Sam Surridge now. He probably didn't get a fair rub of the green or a fair run in the team. But I was there for that Chelsea away game. My God, that was memories. That was. But he didn't suit our style, did he? He didn't quite suit the team. Eddie didn't see him gelling, but you know, he's a quality player on his days. I mean, no offense, Dore, he's a bit of a dinosaur now, but he's quality, isn't he? He scores goals. He's consistently scored goals in the Premier League, and you know, he's dropped down a tier. He's 37, but he doesn't need to be a young player to do what he does. And I can see him do well this season as well.
The thing about Grabban, right? Like I said, you can class him as a dinosaur, but
I meant Murray.
Oh, Murray. Oh, listen.
No.
Listen to me. Murray's going to score past you lot tomorrow. You can eat your words, Alex. And when he does, I will clip this. I will clip it and I'll send it to you. Do you understand?
He'll probably sign a 10-year contract at the end.
Okay, I'll let you get on, Dore on tour. Before you go, I don't think we've actually beaten you at the City Ground. Looking up the stats today,
last time we beat you. Last time you came to our ground, we beat you 2-1.
Yeah, and I don't think we've actually ever won at the City Ground. The best we've ever done is a draw. So tomorrow, what's your score prediction and what are you expecting Chris Hughton to deliver on that pitch for you?
I'll start with, I think with Hughton, I think the way I was saying to the other channel about Bournemouth attacking, like you got Daniel Brooks. He's a threat. He is a major threat. And if he gets the ball, Forest are in trouble. So we've got to keep him quiet, and that's the main thing we've got to do. Just score-wise, I was iffy about it. Like I said, 1-1 on the channel, but I don't know if you heard. I do not rate Woodgate. I don't rate him because he didn't do well for Middlesbrough, and then I think Forest will win. I don't know why. I think we'll win 2-1.
I hope you enjoy.
Even if Bournemouth have been playing well, but I've got a feeling that Forest will win 2-1. I've got to back my team. Sorry.
You got to back your team. That's fine. And I really appreciate you coming on. Enjoy the game tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you soon.
Peace and love, everyone.
Nice to meet you, mate.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Get him off quick.
So, Alex, before we go into the predicted 11, I don't think we've ever won at the City Ground, and we'll come to your score prediction later. But your thoughts on some of that information and some of their form that they've currently hit at the moment?
Yeah, they're going on a good run. Whatever way you look at it, I think they've won 5 out of 10, unbeaten in 8 or 9 of them. Third in the form table. Getting my Tovey stats out now, aren't I? So, yeah, you can look at that face value and say it's going to be a tough game. But at the end of the day, we say it every week. We've got quality, and we should overbear most teams in this league, regardless of form. So, City, there's going to be, if there was a crowd there tomorrow, you'd worry that wouldn't maybe win the game, would do well to get a draw, but no crowd tomorrow. We're on a bit of a new manager bounce. I don't agree with him, I have to say. I think we can do it.
Okay, it's that time of the show. Let's do it, Alex. I don't envy you right now. I can tell you that. As we go through this, for those who are watching, we really appreciate you catching up with us, and let us know if you agree or disagree with Alex as we go through the predicted 11. And remember, he's trying to predict what Woodgate would do, not necessarily what Alex would do. But we've got the lineup there. We spoke off air, Alex. You've gone for the 4-2-3-1, which Woodgate has gone for twice now in his 2 games he's been in charge. And I assume with the news that Begovic seems fit, are we putting him in there?
Yeah, we are. Like you say, worried about his ongoing injury, but seems to be managing it. And I'm not going to repeat what we always say, one of the best players of the season. There you go, I repeated it.
Right, let's go for it. So right back, Stacey is out for a few weeks, so I assume we're looking to put Smith in there.
Yeah, I wasn't too worried about picking that one. I thought Smith might just about get the nod there anyway, but
yeah,
he's there.
So your 2 centre backs then, who's playing ahead of Begovic and either side of the left and right back?
Carter Vickers and Cook. Carter Vickers, I think his debut was against Derby, or it was Luton, one of those games. And I was a bit worried, actually. I thought, he's a bit slow. But actually, I was wrong. And last 2 games, I think he's played the last 2, or the last couple of games, isn't he? He looks like he's got that steeliness about him where he did a really nice sort of crunch and tackle in that game. And I thought, yeah, brilliant. That's what you want. You want a centre-half that can scare the forward a bit. And yeah, he actually changed my mind about him, actually, Carter Vickers, in those last couple of games. So Meppen's not going for a great patch of form, is he? So I can't see him getting in the team very soon unless Carter Vickers and Cook slip up.
Can't really disagree with you there. Now, the left back position is always a bit of a lucky dip. Who are you going for left back tomorrow?
Diego Rico. He has 3 bad games and 1 blinder of a game. And, I'm going to give Rico the nod because Kelly's not been in great form himself, is he? I think Rico's just going to get the nod. Just about.
Okay.
I know I'm going to get some chats and comment now saying, "Oh, Kelly," but there we go.
Now it's going to get sort of serious here and a bit interesting. But you've gone for 2 holding midfielders. We're looking at Pearson, Lerma, and Lewis Cook. Who have you decided? Who are you leaving out, or who do you think Woodgate's leaving out? This
was the hardest pick because I think at the end of the Burnley game we had 4 central midfielders on, which was that really made me want to just hit my head against the wall. I think Cook came on for Brooks, didn't he? And so I think going back a step, I think Billing's a like for like with Wilshere, I think, at the moment. So I think the number 10 sort of taken there. So we can rule Billing out because I think that Wilshere's going to get the nod because he was obviously rested against Burnley. We've got to manage him a bit still. So Wilshere's going to go there. The hardest one is Pearson and Lewis Cook. That's the one that's really racked my brains. I can see Lerma getting the nod. I thought he was really industrious on Tuesday. Pearson, Lewis Cook, my God, this is really is a 50-50.
Come on, everyone. Pearson, or sorry, I'm just trying to get everyone to see what everyone else thinks. Right. So before Alex gives it, are we going Pearson or are we going Lewis Cook? Everyone in the chat. So whilst you're pondering that, Alex, Pearson, what a brilliant game he had against Burnley.
Outstanding debut and never in doubt from what JT was saying before he left and what Pearson was saying. He brought an aura about the way he was playing. He was commanding. He was shouting. It's like Harry Arter with a dodgy beard, really, wasn't it? He was brilliant, and it's just the thing that I worry about is Lewis Cook's done well this season. He's just probably tailed off a little bit in the last 3 games. You don't really want to dent his confidence from just sort of being left out of this game. But I've got a feeling if you're going to think about the team and winning the game, I've got a feeling he's going to go for Pearson.
And that agreed with 6 comments that just came through as well. So there was no shouts for Lewis Cook there. It's a difficult choice.
How do you leave Lewis Cook out? It's really difficult.
All right, so ahead of Wilshere, a brilliant game that Philip Billing had the other night, but I do think he'll go with Wilshere. I agree with that. So 2 players ahead of Wilshere you've got there. So let's go for the right-hand side. Is it David Brooks?
Yeah, it's going to be Brooks on the right. I think I want to say something about David Brooks. I think a lot of fans have been getting on his back lately, and we have to remember he's a young player, and young players always go through patchy form. He's 22, he's 23. Look at Daniel James at Man United. Started off brilliant, patchy form. He's getting his form back again. So Brooks is going to be great. He played all right Tuesday. He did some good sort of assists. There's such a word, but yeah, just wanted to say we need Brooks in the team because he can change a game with one pass, and I'm sure his form will come back. But he's not playing terribly. So yeah,
and in that number 11 role, who are you going for?
So we got 3 players left. Well, we got 4 players left. We got Dan Juma, we got Shane Long, we got Stanislas, and we've got
Surridge
as well. Oh, this is difficult, isn't it?
Definitely is.
Is it Dan Juma or is it Stanislas?
See, Woodgate's not going to sleep tonight.
See, you could say that he's going to play Stanislas there and even try Dan Juma as a number 9. Why not? I think he's going to start with. I think he's going to start with Dan Juma because I think he really likes him, and the way he's talked. I know Stanislas is scoring for fun at the moment, but I've just got a feeling he's going to start with Dan Juma.
Shane Long or Sam Surridge then to run that line?
I think he's going to start with Surridge. I think Shane Long's not fit enough. He played well, but he missed a couple of chances against Birmingham.
Let us know what you think about that lineup. Woodgate potentially will pick. That is probably the most difficult one we've done so far. So as I said, I didn't envy Alex there, but let us know your thoughts on that. Like you said though, that also means we're going to have a really strong bench, Alex, and that can only be a good thing.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, Phil Brill the other night, I can see that Wilshere will probably, he'll do 70, 80 minutes again. And I can see Phil Billing coming on, all guns blazing. Dan Juma, Stanislas, another like for like. There's my dad there. All right, Dad. And yeah, there's a good few like for likes there, isn't there, that we can feel good about because a lot of players have suddenly come into form again. So exciting stuff. Right then.
So what are you hoping for tomorrow? 12:30, whistle goes. What are you hoping to see from the team and for Woodgate to send the team out to try and get a result?
I think we need the result tomorrow, but at the same time, it would be nice to get a good league performance again, wouldn't it? I mean, Birmingham wasn't pretty, was it, at times? Ground the result out, we needed it. It would be nice to just get a really good, solid performance. If we draw, we draw. It's not the end of the world. We need to start winning if we want to get those automatic places. They're not a million miles away. Yeah, 10, 12 points, but long season ahead. I'd take a draw though. I wouldn't say it's the worst result in the world considering their form, but we should have enough, shouldn't we, for a 1-0?
I don't think we'll lose. Right, this is your opportunity, guys. Start putting your scores in the chat and I'll load them on the screen. Who do you think is going to score tomorrow then, Alex? What's your score prediction?
I'm going to go for a 1-0. I think there's going to be a lot of chances, but I think it's going to be a bit of an edgy game as well. So I'd like to say a solid 1-0, if there's such a thing. And I think Stanislas is going to come on and get a penalty again, isn't he?
Maybe.
He always does.
He doesn't miss them, so hopefully he scores. Right, let's see what we've got coming through then, Alex. 3-1. Never seen that one before, Sammy. It's got to come in. I'm going to keep saying it until it comes in. And actually, I'm going to agree with you, Sammy, because I actually think it'll be 3-1 tomorrow for some reason. I think we'll get a couple of goals. I think Surridge will score again. Hopefully, Glenn Murray won't score the one goal that I think we'll concede. But yeah, I'll go for 3-1. Although
I think there'll be a lot of chances tomorrow. It's kind of like I say 1-0, but I think there'll be a lot of chances as well. But a lot of mean, Glenn Murray's in a bit of form, but Forest haven't been banging in loads of goals, at least from their centre forwards. So I just see a lot of missed chances tomorrow for some reason.
Definitely. Right, let's go through the rest of them. So what have we got here? We have got Morgan Scott. Good evening. How are you? 5-0. Sorry, hat-trick. AFC Bournemouth, Germany. Good evening. 2-1. Wilshire and Surridge. And that's on the back of my shirt. So you'll see that if we win tomorrow on back of the net free-for-all. Chris Hubble, how are you? 3-1. Daniel just wants to see us win, Alex. So there's that one. And then we've got Mark Cole. Good evening. How are you? 2-1. Take a Burnley performance.
That'll do.
Cameron agrees with you as well. 2-1. Liam, 2-1. Daniel's now chosen a score. 2-1. 3-1 or 2-1. Don't care. Just win the football match. A lot of 2-1s coming through there. So there is a sort of consistency, Alex, that we might concede a goal. But I don't think we'll lose. Like you said, I don't think we'll lose.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too much of a surprise if we concede one goal. But yeah, I think we got enough.
And if he wins tomorrow, with them not making the decision on the manager, would you give Withgate the job? 3 wins in 3 games?
It's too early to be sort of saying that he deserves a job. I mean, a week ago, Woodgate had a P45 in his hand, didn't he? A couple of weeks ago, and now we're saying he should be the manager. I like what he says in press conferences. I like his positive, direct attitude. He's had an effect on the players. You know, box tickers all round. But we're trying to get to the Premier League, and we need a proven manager to help us get to there.
Definitely. And we'll see what happens. Right. So really enjoyed this, Alex. Before you go, I'm going to drop in a little secret for everyone. Now, next Thursday, Joe, before I tell you that, tomorrow we won't be doing lineups live just because of the timings of the match. So they will come back with the lineups live, but we won't be there tomorrow. We won't have a live match preview for Rotherham, but there will be a preview coming out, so check that out. There will also be a post-match video for tomorrow's game once it's completed, and we've hopefully won the game. But next Thursday, Alex, I got a little surprise for everyone. How interested would you be if I said I've got an interview with next AFC Bournemouth player?
As long as it's not Mohammed birthday, then that would be good.
Keep an eye out for this. Next Thursday, interview with Neil Young. So keep an eye out for this, 8 p.m. I'm hopefully going to do it a premiere, so it'll enable everyone to be able to chat behind the scenes and talk Neil Young memories. And potentially I'm looking into doing an after show afterwards so we can just mop it up and have a really good chat about it and talk all good stuff about Neil Young and AFC Bournemouth in the 90s and 2000s. Ever seen Neil Young play live, Alex?
I did. I think he was in one of the first teams I saw. Ian Cox era, Steve Robinson. Solid fullback, wasn't he?
So top guy as well, an absolute gentleman, and he was more than happy to do the interview. So can't speak highly enough about him. So look out for that next week, next Thursday. Alex, it's been brilliant to have you on. I hope you enjoy the game tomorrow. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, just wanted to ask you, who do you want to get the job?
So I was never Woodgate in, never have been, but I can't knock what he's been doing, and he's saying all the right things. Wagner's not really the man for me either. I think, do you know what? It doesn't matter who takes the job. They're on a hiding to nothing. If they go for Vieira or Terry, I mean, Terry's ruled himself out now, but if they go for that type of manager who's played at the elite level, will be an inspiration to some of these players that would have watched them as kids, but doesn't have the experience, it's a risk. If they go for someone like Pearson, who's got the ticket, but might, be a bit hard graft on the training ground and might not get the best out of them, and it doesn't work out, they'll say, why did they go for someone who's are they past their best? I think no matter what happens, it's a risk, isn't it? So I'll back whoever comes in. I can't actually make my mind up, so whoever they give the job to, I'll back 100%. And that would probably even be Woodgate, even though I was completely Woodgate not in. So But I just hope, I think they're holding on to see what Woodgate does tomorrow. That's my gut feeling.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's three managers look like they're in the frame. I think it's either going to be Pearson, Woodgate, or Wagner, and either one of them. I'd prefer it not to be Woodgate as well as he's done, but I'd be happy with, for different reasons. I'd be happy with either Pearson or Wagner.
Brilliant. And I'm sure we'll find out by this time next week. So have a good evening, Alex. I'll speak to you soon and enjoy the game tomorrow.
Up the cherries.
Up the cherries. Right. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much again. We grew 50 plus subscribers. We need to keep going though. Tell everyone you know. If you've not subscribed or you're watching this right now, where have you been? Come on, subscribe. Let's grow this channel. Neil Young coming next Thursday. It's an enjoyable watch. Promise you that. Such a nice guy, very open, doesn't hold back. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Let's hope we get the result. Let's not lose, but I do see us winning. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Until the next video, we'll see you soon. Up the cherries. Thanks a lot.